Over to you. This floor is yours. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing super good. My name is Mustapha Abdullahi. So let me just confirm 1 minute. So please, can you confirm if you can see my screen, please? Okay,
perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you very much. So my name is Mustapha. So I'm currently a deep mind scholar at Queen Mary University of London. So today I'm going to be sharing with you like some bit of kind of tips and kind of overview to what you need to know about graduate admissions, because it's kind of a very big process. But at least this should maybe serve as, maybe I really don't know, maybe one or two of you have maybe perhaps applied to graduate school already, and maybe some of you have perhaps not considered it. So this will be like a kind of just little introduction to what you need to know, and maybe tips of things you need to do. Then this is one of my kind of favorite saying: whoever strives shall succeed. I know you have kind of been into a process of doing one or two things. Even though with the data science program, you have to work hard to achieve everything you need to do, you want to do. So in order to get results, you have to really work hard. There are really no two ways about that. So this is just a brief intro about me, which Dr. Shamsuddin has maybe talked about. So you can always connect with me anytime, either on email or Twitter. So we can always get to talk even after the meeting, talk about anything, graduate admissions, or anything you need to know. So this is just a kind of brief of maybe what I'll be talking about today, maybe why you should apply the DeepMind Scholarship and other graduate opportunities apart from DeepMind Scholarship. So maybe you kind of see it's not really a kind of one-way kind of thing. There are multiple options to get opportunities to study abroad and in the field of AI and maybe any other related field you are interested in. Then I will kind of talk a bit about why I failed and maybe what you should do from my own perspective that will make you get the opportunity to get these scholarships. So I think more importantly, it's why you should apply. So there are a number of reasons you should apply to scholarship, but this is kind of what I feel it's kind of the best things for me so far. It's, I think more importantly, the knowledge you'll get, because you are going to be taught by people that are very seasoned in the field, that have very large amount of like knowledge and expertise, that have already been doing the work for about 20-30 years or so. So the knowledge is important. Then you get money, so which is one other crucial thing, because like more importantly, what you'll be doing is majorly studies. You'll be paid to maybe study, which is like a kind of two-way thing. You get the knowledge and get the money. You get to travel,
which is not in naira, right?
Yes, in pounds. Yeah, in pounds, which is when you do a conversion, it's quite a lot. So it can also serve as a career boost. So if you are maybe in your final year or maybe have graduated and you kind of want you are kind of looking to promote or get better in your career, so a master's degree or a PhD will really skyrocket your career. Then one other thing, it's maybe collaboration and innovation. So when you kind of when you join these universities, you get to meet friends, you get to meet your professors, you get to collaborate, and you meet people you never thought you would meet. Because last week in a group assignment, I met someone who was working at Amazon. So he was kind of a salesperson before he switched to AI. So let's say you don't apply to this college, you won't meet these people. And I'm very sure like other mentors will tell you in the future, like the connections you make will encompass all these other 4 things you are seeing here: your knowledge, the money you get, and the career. Because like 1 or 2 jobs you will get, it will be from these connections you will make, and it will be very valuable to you. So as you can see, this is how I arrange them. Knowledge is a bit bigger than money. So you can arrange it in either way you see fit. Your own for money can be bigger, so anyone you see fit. But these are kind of the key things I see should motivate you to kind of apply for graduate school. And if you really like seek knowledge and want to experiment with a lot of things, so it gives you much opportunity to do that. So selecting your schools. So let's say you have been convinced you want to apply to graduate schools and it boils down to what schools you should select, then these are kind of factors you should look at. Maybe the school you are selecting, perhaps you want to be an expert in data science. How good are the faculty in data science or in particular area of AI or any other field? It can be maybe electrical engineering or computer engineering, and you want to apply data science to it. You can kind of go online and check the background of the faculty. Another thing is the prestige and the ranking. The ranking don't really matter much. It's just that the ranking and the employability kind of tailor much, because let's say, for instance, you kind of graduated for a high-ranking school like Oxford, and you graduated from a mid-ranking school at, let me not call names, but there are kind of different ways your employers will look at you. They will kind of prefer someone because of the status of the school you graduated from compared to other one, except you have like your experience or knowledge gap is far outweighs that graduated from the top schools. Then there are other factors like people consider weather and diversity. That's like if you have options, but if you don't have options, like you don't get to choose. So anyone that comes your way, you have to kind of take it. And like either one that comes, it's like a good thing. It's like definitely a big plus for you. Then finally, what you will need for your graduate applications. So most importantly, for you to start each of these graduate, okay.
Yeah, so you talked to one point, which is really important, to determine the university you go. So if you are going, for example, now, in UK, they have what they call talent visa or something like that. If you graduate from, they said specific university, right? From, top university. So even scholarship, if you're applying, your university, if you're applying, for example, for PhD, the university you attended really matters. So it's kind of good to determine which kind of visa. One good thing in UK, we have what is called Russell Group University. I think, Russell Group. So Russell Group, I remember while I was going to Manchester, this is one of the advice one of my mentor told me, like, pick any university that is within the Russell Group, you are good to go. So when you're applying for UK universities, try as much as possible. If you do not go to such kind of top university, it must be within this kind of Russell Group, because there's good. Thank you.
Yes, I very much agree sincerely. So, and let's say you kind of have considered to apply for graduate schools, there are particular documents that are kind of very crucial for your application. So since you are definitely going to travel, you have to need your Nigerian passports, because for you to write some applications require you to write some exams, which are the IELTS, then the TOEFL or the GRE. So some might require you to show proof of identification, which the passport is very important. And if you have not really gotten your passport, if you don't have a passport, I think the first and most important thing for you to do now is to really get your Nigerian passport, because people have been kind of complaining about how difficult it is to get the passport. But the earlier you start, the better. Then you need your transcripts, and your transcripts don't really need to be like the official transcript from school, because currently I really don't have my transcript from school. I've been using my statement of results, even though I'm currently going to try to get my transcript. Statement of results are like perhaps, let's see your results, your semester-wise results printed out and signed by your exam officer. Then you can just maybe keep that and get to scan it in a very clear manner. So schools do accept that, and it's no big deal. So having that, if you don't have that, you can perhaps meet your exam officer and maybe just tell him what you want to do. Some don't even need the reason, they'll print it and give it out to you. Another crucial part is your CV. I think later on I'll go much deeper into it. Your statement of purpose, personal statement, then I will still look into the CV, statement of purpose, personal statement, but I won't really go deep into it because it's also a very wide, we might spend an hour talking about it. So I'll just tell you brief about it, maybe what you need to do in relation to the DeepMind scholarship you will be applying for. Then another crucial thing is reference letter. So reference, yes. Can someone raise their hand?
Yeah, so just as Mustapha made mention, I think one of the potential blocker for many of the our graduates now is the problem, of transcript in our universities. For example,
Yes.
I'm not sure how it is in ABU, but in BUK it's really difficult in the sense that you see somebody graduate. But when I also got my master's degree in Manchester, when I applied, I didn't even send them my transcript official. What I did basically was I binded all my yearly reports in a single PDF and just ship them. So you can apply at this moment with all those things. They really matters, and they can be, serve as official way to transfer. Because if you wait and get your, transcript from the university, you will be delayed. And also one of the important things Mustapha made mention, get your passport ready. No matter, just get it ready and keep it. And just keep applying, because if you said you don't have money, then you are not seriously applying, want to get the scholarship. So try as much as possible to get your passport ready. And thank you, Mustapha. Go on.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes. Then another important thing is the reference letters, because kind of reference letter, it's apart from your application packet, reference letter is kind of a third, like a second or third view of how someone else sees you. Then to you, you might feel you are not hardworking enough, but to someone else, like your lecturer, you might feel like this person is doing more than enough. So reference letters are just like a third view of how someone sees you, how you work or collaborate with someone, and it just shows how committed you are. Then you might, for you to get reference letter, you have to be in good terms with your lecturers, because you might not just do one scholarship or application or one school application, you'll be doing several applications. So you need to be in good terms with your lecturer that will be very patient with you. That's from a very sincere perspective, because I did apply to a number of scholarships before, a number of schools before getting this particular opportunity. So you need to know someone, it can be your supervisor, you spent a lot of time, it can be your lecturers that are in good terms, it can be someone you've worked with, and it's really a big plus since you are in this data science fellowship. And I've seen like they've sent 1 or 2 recommendation letters to you for another application, which I feel it's very good, and you have this opportunity, and please do maximize it. Then finally, I think it's the application fees. Okay, please. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So Mustapha raised an important point. The point is this: try as much as possible. This is what you leverage to have a good, relationship with one of your lecturers. Like, he should know you very well. You know what I mean? Like, when you call your name, he knows you, he remembers you. So while you are at university, try as much as possible to have such kind of relationship, because you will build on it. Whenever you travel or go somewhere else, you try to, ask him to send it. I remember while I was in Manchester, my supervisor was old, and I sent him an email trying to ask for, recommendation letter, and he didn't reply for like 2 weeks. And it downs to me like, hey, let me send to one of the professors, because he knows me very well. And hey, this is what happened. As I sent him, the next day he sent me, because he can remember me very well, because I build the relationship. So it is very, very important to build relationship with your lecturer. At some point, try as much as possible in that way to build, because it's really, really good to do that. Thank you. Move on.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes. So it's still not bad if you are not in touch with your lecturers. You can start that now. I think you have much more. I think there are still some undergrad here. So if you can start building that relationship before you graduate. And even though you are a graduate, you can just give a call to your lecturer. You just call to check up on them, just that kind of thing, just so that at least you will kind of start building a relationship. So it's never too late if you are really considering graduate school. Then finally is the application fees. In most of the schools, it will be waived for you, because like they feel for Nigeria, it's kind of a big deal for you to be paying like perhaps £80 or $100, which is equivalent to almost about 70, 80, 90K. So for just one application, so they will waive it for you. For my school, Queen Mary, you have no need to pay for application fee. You just apply directly. And let's see. Then for your essays, okay, yes, please.
Yes, another point which I think I leverage currently is try to find someone that aligns with your interest, that you have the same passion with him. Try to get a mentor. I'm not saying even here in the data science. Try to get a mentor. What I mean by a mentor, someone that you look upon, that what he's doing, you like it, and try to get a mentor and do, So let me give you an example. I'm in a community, and there is somebody who is from Google, and he is, working in our community. NLP is very good in NLP. And I find out, hey, how can I, reach out to this guy and, we can be my mentor. What I did basically, I just composed an email. Maybe it's a Slack. I sent him a message, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my interest. This is my CV. I want you to be my mentor. And he replied happily, hey, Shamsuddin, I'm really happy. I saw your work. I saw your CV. I'm really happy to be your mentor. Feel free. Let's set up a meeting, And we set up a meeting, a month, we chat, the advice, what I mean? And at the end of the day, at this day, I'm telling you, we have many papers together with him.
Oh, wow.
But also, while I was applying now for postdoc, he wrote, recommendation letter for me. So a recommendation letter from Google sent on my behalf, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, try as much as possible to find people that seeing that you align an interest with them. Just shoot an email to them. Send them, if you are doing good, what I mean, don't be like, you must sure you build your profile, that's why I was telling you, you need to build profile, maybe your GitHub, maybe your web page that we saw, all those profile, your project that you have been doing. So if you ask somebody, be my mentor, when he sees what you are doing, you are, on the right track, on the right course, he will be happy to, push you up, you know what I mean? Yes. So it's good now to, look up for mentors, even if you don't know them. I don't know this person. Okay, I know him just in, Slack or so, but we haven't met. And so it was only, I think, last year that we met one person and we chat. And now we are collaborating more often. So this is a good point that I'm telling you. Try as much as possible to find a mentor. Compose a very good email or message to him and write what you have done before, because if somebody he doesn't know Python or he doesn't know machine learning or something like that, he just sent me an email, hey, I want you to be my mentor. And I just feel like this. But when I saw he has done many projects, I said, oh, I must mentor this guy. I must push this one. So even the mentors need those that help themselves. They need a little push so that they can, reach their, peak potentials. So yeah. I think this is a good point. Thank you.
I think it's a great point, sincerely. Yeah, thank you very much. So, okay, I talked about statement of purpose and personal statement. So briefly, statement of purpose and personal statement are like written piece that tells the admission body about you. So there are various guides on how to write your statement of purpose or personal statement. They kind of mean the same thing. They have very subtle kind of difference. Sometimes they might ask you for a motivation letter, which I think that's for if you are applying for the DeepMind scholarship. So they ask you for a motivation letter, but they kind of have the same idea behind them. So this is kind of my advisable kind of guide for you to look into graduate school essays and get an idea of what your graduate school. There's no really one way to write your essays. So it just depends on you as a person, how you feel or see the world. Then for Donald Asher's book, he really gives a very good background about these essays and with examples, and even tells you more about recommendations letter, who you should ask for recommendation letters, and how it should be. I don't know, maybe try checking, but I'll just see if we will just send you a copy through the Telegram, inshallah, and let's see how things go from there. So it's a really fantastic book. It won't waste much of your time. It's just direct, straight to the point, and you really learn a lot from it, sincerely. So for the DeepMind scholarship, it's I don't know if you know about DeepMind. So DeepMind are one of the top companies currently in AI. So they are pushing forward the notion of artificial general intelligence, which is quite a very hot topic. And okay, yes, please.
No, go on.
Okay, thank you. So they are pushing the very hot topic, which is artificial general intelligence, which is one of the, will be kind of one of the major achievements of the century if we get to achieve it. So one thing is key for you to be affiliated with that particular company. So before I started applying to schools, I kind of send a lot of emails, just like Dr. Shamsuddin has talked about. You send emails to maybe people you want them to mentor you or people you want to work with. And what I felt during that time, I didn't really have much acceptance from people, in that people don't really respond to my emails. But after I got the kind of DeepMind scholarship, and in my email, I just put it in, I'm a DeepMind scholar, and suddenly everyone is, not really everyone, but most people are now replying to my emails, which shows you the kind of importance to be affiliated with this particular kind of organizations or any scholarships. There are a lot of them. Then it's kind of a one-step process. For you to get to your destination, you have to move one step in a particular direction. So for my application, they needed a CV and an essay. So for my application to Queen Mary DeepMind Scholarship, after applying to the school separately, then you have to apply you have to use another application for the DeepMind Scholarship. They just wanted your CV, then a personal statement. The personal statements will tell them about your interest in the scholarship and your financial background, because they were looking for people in underrepresented regions, and you need to tell them about maybe your financial condition, which I will share with you. It's a bit personal, but personal statements are meant to be personal. But I think I will share with you, since we are all one family, and we want you to all win, so that you can maybe see from my example how I was able to make it very personal and capture like what they want to know. So in this statement, you don't need to exaggerate. You just need to tell them the truth, and you tell it in a very concise way. And it depends, it's just how you write it. For instance, let's see, it's just a abstract example. Let's say Dangote wants to employ someone, maybe a sub company, to make cement, and there are two people that are contesting for that particular contract, and someone kind of come to me and tell him, hey Dangote, I see you are looking for someone that sells cement, but I really don't have cement. I have stones. I can grind stones, and perhaps you can use it to make cement. Dangote will say, nice, okay, this is a good step. And maybe someone else comes to him and, look, Dangote, I don't have cement, but look at what I do. I sell drinks and sell minerals. So to you, who will Dangote like kind of take and give the contract? It's definitely the one who like kind of sells stones, and which relates to his own company of making cement. So don't mind me, it's just an abstract example. So I will just kind of go deeper into it, then you will kind of have a feel of what it is. So for the DeepMind scholarship, which is at AIMS at South Africa, so it's a one-year program where you will take some taught courses for, I can't remember the timeline, but I kind of feel they'll be selecting 40, and it's going to be a life-changing experience. So these are like things they want from you in your application, which I feel it's something you can do very much. The deadline is by April. So first and most important thing is your CV. I'm going to show you a template of the CV you might, not really a template, just an example of how to make your CV. Someone raised up his hand. If you have any question, you can ask in the comment section, or you can leave it after maybe we are done, so you can open up. You can raise up your hand if you have any questions. So feel free.
Let's after you're done, then we I can question.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I think for a CV, it should just be 1 to 2 pages. So anything after 2 pages becomes extra. So, and one important thing about CV is just like a first look of you as a person. You don't want someone to waste too much time, like thinking about what does this person do, since you haven't really done, if you've done a master's and if you've done a PhD and the rest, so you can go further. But 2 pages at least, it's very much okay to just introduce yourself and have people and put the most important things there, so that people, it's just like when you look at the person at the first time, so you look at the most noticeable thing about that person, and it kind of helps you build a picture of the person over time. So that's what your CV should do. Be concise, just go straight to the point, and most of your important details about that. Then secondly, you need a motivation letter. Motivation letter just tells the person why you want to study a master's degree. So if it encapsulates any of those past things we talked about, the knowledge, particularly you should emphasize on the knowledge and the collaboration you will make with people from the field, in the AI people that will be teaching you. And I think it's much more towards a master's degree, particularly helps you to know, it helps you get a direction of better sense of where you're going to. So you should not bother if you really don't have a much background in AI. Maybe tell them, maybe perhaps you studied electrical engineering also, then kind of talk to them about how things you've studied in electrical engineering have motivated you to push a passion for AI. Let's say you studied electrical engineering. I think one of the courses we did in electrical engineering had Markov decision processes, and this is very key to very key to things to do with reinforcement learning. You can chip in and say, maybe I learned Markov decision process in my one of the courses in my undergraduate studies, which pushed me forward to research, and I felt the importance of Markov decision processes in making agents make better decisions in navigating real world situations. So this is just you can like kind of craft it in a number of manner. So I think with the book, it will help you, give you points of how you should go about this. Then we talked about academic transcripts. Then they will give you some maths questions to solve and a coding problem, a coding challenge to solve. You have a lot of time. You shouldn't worry if you don't have the background in maths or coding. You can build that. You have about 2 months. So in 2 months, I believe you should be able to start 1 or 2 of these processes. And the earlier you start, the better. You shouldn't leave it to the deadline. I will tell you a lot about why you shouldn't leave it to the deadline, and like a lot of things can happen. So that's about DeepMind application. I just hope you will, if you have not looked into the website that was sent to you, please do look into it. It's like, I will tell you, it's like a kind of once in a lifetime opportunity for you to kind of apply to the scholarship. Then, okay. So I think I've talked majorly about this. Your CV, it should be very brief. It should be concise, straight to the point. And there's this STAR approach. STAR approach is how you should kind of tailor the things you've done: situation, task, action, and results. Let's say you've worked on a project, then you can kind of discuss the project about in this particular one line. Maybe let's say you're working on a project for heart disease classification. Maybe heart disease classification is where you look at, or maybe let's say it can be a cancer classification where you look at mammogram images. It's like they are kind of like breast scans where you see, though the doctor understands, but there's the doctors that understands it. But here you are building a machine learning model to understand these images. So in the task, you are building a cancer detection system. What you should do, you should accurately predict like the cancer level. Then what was the result of your model? Maybe you can state it to be perhaps 90%, 92%. So it's just how you should kind of arrange, maybe describe what you've done. So let me just briefly just show you this is just mine. So I'll just show you briefly on what I did. So you can always look it up. It's not like the Shorey template. You can look at other template. I just want to show it to you because that's the only thing I kind of have now. So just 1 minute. Let me just try to.
Also, for the LaTeX, I share in
Yes.
the community the LaTeX template for CV, but I know most of you guys, you don't know how to use LaTeX. So we'll have a very introduction to LaTeX, maybe an hour. And I think Dr. Idris will help us facilitate that session. I mean, for example, now, I mean, I don't actually use Microsoft for collaboration. So here there are people that, you know, I give CVs to them, a recommendation letter. So what I did was just to share my LaTeX, you know, overleaf link. And now I ask them just to change university that they're applying themselves. And now they send me. So we collaborate with that. So good.
Okay. Sincerely, it's really great because LaTeX, it's very good. I started using it about a month or 2 ago, and I've been really enjoying it. So, and because when you send the link to the 30 minutes LaTeX, it's one of the tutorials
yes, exactly.
I use. Yes, so
exactly.
it's been very helpful. Yes.
Kabila, and also I think this person is here. So I just sent them the 30-minute overlap link for them to just get started, and one video in YouTube, and they pick it up. So whenever they want to see a recommendation later from me, I just ask them that go to the folder, because I already created a folder called recommendation. Go to the folder, just change the name of the university and edit, because I'm also busy. So,
yes,
when they finish everything, I just download it and sign it and just send it to the university. So this is a very good something that you need to learn, LaTeX. Dr. Idris, are you here? Dr. Idris? Okay.
Yes, Doctor, I'm here. Somewhat busy.
Okay, so maybe next week we can see LaTeX to show them like an hour how they can prepare their CV using LaTeX. Yeah, thank you, Mustapha. Go on.
Okay, thank you very much. So this CV here particularly, it's built with LaTeX. So I took a template online, and I can also share that template with you if you want to use my own template. Maybe use my own as a template, so it's also fine. So here I just want to show you about how to put in key details in your CV. So it's good to, you can perhaps list the projects you've done, but it's also important to go a bit into details to what you've done and what you've achieved. So briefly, I'll just look into this. I don't know, can you see the screen of the CV here?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So here you can look, propose a modified particle swamp optimization algorithm to optimize the structure of fully connected CNN layers. So this is like, we can say this is perhaps the task that I did for this project. So it was like more of collaborative. Then what was the action? Develop a TensorFlow code implementation of AlexNet. Then what was the result? Achieved improved accuracy of 98%. So here it shows you've done the work. So after doing the work, what happens next? What was the result of that work? So this is to show like there has been an improvement beyond like what was earlier there. And I think there's this particular one. This is another way of showing the result. Reduce 60% of the company's workload of candidates matching and response processing. So there are various ways to do it, but it's kind of just a small advice of how you should tailor it. So you don't need to like follow this approach directly. So there are a number of ways to do it. So let me just go back.
Yes, but you can share the LaTeX template for us so that the student can.
Okay. I will surely do that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So I think I won't go. Okay. So for personal statements, so as I said, you need to make it, there's a difference between personal statement and statement of purpose. So personal statements will tell them about how your experiences have shaped what you applying to the school or perhaps the scholarship. Statement of purpose is why you want to, what are they are kind of not a big difference to it. So, but statement of purpose is much more of maybe things you've studied or the internship you've done that have like kind of that made the choice that you want to study this particular course. So this was taken from one of my applications for DeepMind scholarship. So it's just you can just read through. So I just first, this is one of the introductory paragraph. So for the key thing that I kind of told them is the scholarship itself will be a stepping stone to be a leading researcher to solve African problems in education, diseases, and food scarcity. So they know it's an important problem, which is very like if it's solved, it's a huge step for our country or continent itself. So this particular kind of thing, so you don't need to make it very in-depth, in which it leads to more of like a research statement. So they just want to see like you really want to take that next step and tell them how you want to take that next step. So this is just, it doesn't need to be this at all. I'm just kind of showing you an example so that you have a feel of what you should be doing in your personal statement or motivation letter. Then this is, so it's very good to consider context in the applications you'll be doing. For my application, they wanted you to show what's your financial status, or they wanted to sponsor only people that are not financially able to maybe study at the university. So we know, like, if you check the price for the schools, I don't think any one of us is financially like capable, because it's like the school fees is super high. So this is just to give you an example of maybe how you should tailor it to fit the context of your applications. So context matters, because for the DeepMind Africa, you are applying to the DeepMind under DeepMind scholarship in the Africa context. So it's very good to key in like key African problems that you are very enthusiastic about solving, then to give you a better chance of winning it. So here you are kind of stating the truth in a very how would I put it? You are kind of stating the maybe your reasons for applying. So there are a lot of things to put in, but if the scholarship doesn't ask you about maybe your financial condition, you shouldn't put it in. This obviously was asked during my application for the scholarship, and that's why I put it in. I'm just sharing with you just to give you an insight on things you perhaps need to consider when writing this particular statements. Then the benefits of the DeepMind scholarship, sincerely, there are lots of benefits you will get. We've talked about the maybe monetary kind, even though it's not the obvious one. You'll be assigned to a DeepMind mentor. So a DeepMind mentor is someone that works at a DeepMind. He's either a research engineer or a research scientist. Mine is Jan Humplik. He's a reinforcement learning and robotics engineer at research scientist at DeepMind. So we meet on monthly basis. We talk a lot about a number of things. So it can be academic, it can be research. So it's a very big opportunity for you to expand beyond your current network and meet a different number of people. Then you'll be given a device allowance. It's a one-off device. They give you like, it's more monetary for you to like get any device you want. So you can get, if you want, you can get a Mac, you can get a laptop, you can get a GPU, anything you want. Then there's conference travel. It's kind of very, I know Dr. Shamsuddin will agree, if you are in the field of AI, so it's very important for you to attend these conferences because it shows how vast you are in like seeking for knowledge and still meeting people. So conference allowance will go a long way. Yes, sir.
Yes, so you touched on a point. So let me
Yes.
just, drive home another point. So we in computer science, you may be aware that people from other, other courses or, they prefer to send their, research to journals. But we in computer science, what is most important is conference. Yes. So, for example, in university in Nigeria, maybe if you're a lecturer, for you to be promoted, they consider journal paper, they give it more weight. Like if they say journal is 1 point, then conference paper, they say is 0.2 or 0.3. But we in computer science, like, where you get your paper to go, which is top, is conferences. And there is a lot of stuff, with conference, you get collaboration. So for example, when I started my PhD, there is somebody that I know that is working on my area, and I sent him an email. Hey, I'm doing this and this. I need collaboration. I need to have a meeting. He didn't respond to my email and whatsoever. I sent him, 3 times. Okay. Then I went to a conference in France where I'm presenting a paper, and I went to the, after the conference, I went to where we have, workshop. Everyone is presenting his paper. While I was looking to the paper, I just saw a paper. I went there. I just saw his name. This is the person that, I said, are you so? Yes, it's me. I sent you an email. You didn't reply to me. I showed him the email. He said, sorry, I'm not using this email. This is the email I'm using. And and guess what? At this moment, we even collaborated writing 2 papers with him. And he's one of the top researchers in my field. So you see, collaboration is really, really important. So you need to collaborate. You need to shoot an email to people, So for example, there's another one from Microsoft. He's a senior research scientist at Microsoft. He came to our community Masakani, and he gave us a talk. And after his talk, I just shoot an email to him. Hey, you had a wonderful stuff, and I want you to mentor me. This is what I'm doing. You know what? He arranged for me to have a meeting with him monthly. And at the end of the day, we had a paper with him as well. So nice. I'm just trying to tell you that collaboration is really, really important because, I quite believe now that working alone cannot take you far. Yes. But if you want to get to the farthest point, get people that were there to just push you to know, show you the road. You will go there faster. I'm not saying you not go there, but it will take time, but people that know the places, they learn, they know all those things, they will show you the tips, they will push you quickly to the right direction. Just like, when we are taking a machine learning rate, you bounce this direction, you bounce it. But, if you have a mentor who just push you to the right path, you don't need to bounce back, before you learn from your experience. Yeah, Idris, go on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So,
okay, go, Dr. Idris.
Yeah, so Doctor, you've been stating several examples on people from Microsoft. You forgot to. So through Shamsuddin, if you hold Shamsuddin as a mentor, you will publish papers, you will know people like several top people. And through Shamsuddin, we've been opportunity to have travel grants, research grants. We've been opportunity to have research positions, which we are earning cool money and the rest. So please shoot Shamsuddin an email too, in addition to other people.
No, I mean, I'm trying to just to tell them, it's quite good. So for example,
thank you, sir.
Yeah, for example, we, apply for grants, and the grant we applying is over 100 million naira, over 100 million naira. And without those, collaborators, those mentors, the grant will not move forward. You know what I mean? So we got a grant over 100 million naira currently that we're working on. So it's quite good, get mentors, you know what I mean? Get help from other people that know the road to show you, like Mustapha now that know the road. Just follow him, Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that help yourself first. What I mean with help yourself is that, do the right things, build yourself. When you ask a mentor to help you, there is somebody now here that he, because a lot of people send me an email, but there is also Mustapha Wakil that sent me an email that want him to be his mentor. And, when he's sending me his CV, I just opened the CV. He has a first class. I mean, he does it. Oh, no, I say, this one must be helped. I just, say, okay, send me your CV, send me your reference letter, send me your everything. I just sat down, get an hour, 2, 3, try to polish his document, try to help him because he helped himself to, so the one of the important things, help yourself, get also, things that mentors need to see so that they can push you. Yeah, thank you. Go on, Mustapha.
Thank you very much. So I think we've talked more, it still boils down to maybe the money. I know there's no doubt we all need money to survive, and knowledge, then the collaboration as everyone has added. Thank you very much. So let's say apart from the DeepMind, there are other opportunities, other scholarships you can get. So let's say you have a school of interest, you can search the school or department's web pages. So they will kind of give you more information because they really want students to attend the schools. So you'll get more information about scholarship. Then there are other like scholarship opportunities websites, like I really can't remember any now currently, but when I do, I will surely share. I think for a PhD, you there's findaphd.com. So, and I think in UK, there's jobs.ac.uk. So there are a lot of websites where you can put in your details and maybe what particular opportunities and you are looking for. They'll send you constant emails about when there's any opportunities available. Social media too, like Twitter, it's like a very good way to go. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I made mention this one, but I think it's also good to repeat it for those that I know here. I'm saying all this not to brag or to, but just to show you the road, the experience. So as told you, like we had a paper and somebody asked me, my collaborator, just to share it on Twitter. When I share our paper on Twitter, not less than 10 minutes, a professor from Canada reached out to my email. Hey, Shamsuddin, I just saw your paper. That's amazing. Do you want to work with us as a postdoc? What is your plan?
Ah, nice.
You know what I mean? And he just say, if you are happy to work with us as a postdoc, just reply to me that we can arrange a Zoom call. Then this is the next thing. We had a call. They offer me, a postdoc in University of Waterloo, Canada. So right now, so this is, so that's why I also advise our fellows that they should do what is called, learning in public. what I mean learning in public is like try as much as possible to have your website, try as much as possible, to share some of the learning you are doing. So for example, now you are learning Python, another machine learning, try to share those things that you learn in Twitter, in LinkedIn. You may not know what happened next, because when you do apply some positions, you will even go to your, Twitter, your social media handle to see what is. So the point here, as Mustapha said, social media is also powerful. As you can see, I didn't even apply for anything, but somebody reached out to me and offered me position. So this is really powerful. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, okay. So let's see. So there are kind of other scholarships available. So like the Rhodes Scholarship, there's the Rhodes Scholarship to Oxford. So I also applied for the 2023. So I was part of the top 15 finalists. So I didn't make the final two, selecting final two for the scholarship to Oxford. So it's also something you should look out for. Don't be discouraged about this scholarship. It's something you can win. So people win it, and you can also win it. Don't ever be discouraged. There's a MasterCard scholarship to either University of Cambridge and I think to Oxford and the rest. There's the Clarendon scholarship. There are lots of scholarships that are willing to sponsor your studies because they know you will do great things and impact the society. So that's why they really want to, and you have to state it to them why you stand out from other people. And I'll just give some key points on things you should see. Okay, Awal Abdullah, please.
Okay, good morning, Doctor. It's nice to get all these talks and experience from you. We really appreciate. I just want to ask a very brief question regarding the scholarship. If I am opportune, inshallah, to get a scholarship, is there anything they would expect from me, or they are just doing it out of good heart?
Yes, I will give you just a brief, and I think maybe Dr. Shamsuddin will just maybe add some more based on my own experience. So like currently for DeepMind scholarship, they don't expect anything from you. So they just give you the scholarship and it's left to you what you do next with maybe your life and your studies. Then for others will kind of require you like the Quantum Black scholarship, which I am fortunate to be part of. So what they require you is to do an internship for 3 months with them. So which is a big plus. Then for others might require you to come back to the country. Like I think Chevron will require you to come back to your country also. So I don't know, please, Doctor, can you add more on this, please?
Yeah, so nothing much in European, and outside like online Nigeria. Maybe what they need is just, acknowledgement. If you write a paper, just write acknowledgement. Shamsuddin, acknowledge support from Zozo scholarship. And also, that's all is needed. Nothing attached with all those. It's just acknowledgement when you have an output. Yep.
Okay, yeah, nice. Thank you very much. So please, if you have any other questions, you can either type on the comment box or, okay, Abdul Qadir.
Yeah, also, I want to mention that don't feel discouraged when you send an email or application you didn't get it. Let me tell you, in my email, Gmail, I have a folder called failed applications. I think there are more than 100. Don't just sit there. But what I'm trying to say, like, I have a folder. If you just send an email application or something like that, if it fails, I just push it to that one. It's just a lesson. So just try as much as possible to, I was in 2016, right? Yeah, in 2016, I applied for scholarship in Portugal, but I didn't get it. I applied in 2017. I didn't get it. Fortunately, in 2018, I got, TED Fund scholarship to go to Portugal. While I was there, and I applied for scholarship again for the Portugal one, and I got it. You can see the third time, you know what I mean? So,
yes.
Don't just give up, you know what I mean? Like, you can see this is the third time that I applied for the scholarship. And among many people from different parts of the world, we were shortlisted 5, and I was among the third one. So, just try as much as possible just to, apply as much as possible, and then you just make it, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah, yes. I think someone, Abdul, you raised your hand, so I don't know if you still have maybe a comment or a question.
Yes, I have a question.
Please, thank you.
Please, what advice can you give to people who are not from a computer science background? Let me say, for example, someone like me who is from physics and is transitioning into the tech world. So what advice can you give people like us who
Yes.
doesn't have computer science background and we are just learning some few tips on how to go into tech?
Tech. Okay. I think that's a very good question. I think more important thing is to show like transferable skills, like maybe skills you've learned from physics, because sincerely, there are lots of people that have done physics and have transitioned into AI. So if AI is your interest and you really want to go into AI, build your skills in AI to show you've worked on projects like Doctor have spoken about, and show them like this is what you've done in your physics, maybe in your project or so for undergraduate or masters, you've done A, B, and C. This is how like A, B, and C helped you, and what you've done from A, B, and C, you can use it to do X, Y, Z in AI. And it's very important to show this transferability of skills. And it's very common to see people switch from fields that are not AI related to AI related. And physics itself, it's kind of related to AI because when was it? 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I met a lady that did at UCL. She did her bachelor's and master's in physics, and currently she's doing a PhD at UCL on AI, on Bayesian optimization, which is totally different from her field. And I think she was learning it for the very first time at that moment. So it's very, very much possible. Build the skills in the field that interests you, if it's AI, data science, or deep learning, or anything related to that, and show them like just you can transfer the skills or knowledge you've gained from physics perspective or physics, anything you've learned from physics to the AI. Yes. Okay, Bello, please, you can.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
So my question is, not everybody was, let's say, particularly focused in school, right?
Okay.
And so maybe with regards to that, your results don't speak to your what you think you know or stuff like that. So how do you suggest one going forth sort of position himself or herself for that for opportunities like this? Because usually it's for you'd see that there is the requirement for academic transcripts, and if you're going through that route, it might not speak well for you. So what's your suggestion here?
Okay, nice. That's a really great question, and I feel like most people really face that. I think I have a slide just below, just maybe if you can just 2 slides and we'll be there. I'll just discuss some points, then I'll key in more details. So if it doesn't answer your question, so you can just please come again, you can raise up your hand and ask the question again, please. So I'll just, in just 2 slides or so, I think we should be there. Now, apart from this, so I think one mistake I made, these scholarships are majorly tailored towards the UK scholarship. In US, you can also find scholarship opportunities for US schools. So US schools are much more direct, where you just apply to the schools and you get either assistantships or they are more funding in like you applying for PhD in US schools than compared to UK schools. So there are also other scholarships you can apply. There are like Nigerian-based scholarships like the PTDF, which is currently on. So you are very much encouraged to apply. And I feel it seems there are some of the mentors or people here that have applied and are really successful in that. Then you see you have a very big opportunity to contact people and get more ideas on these scholarships. So firstly, before getting to this, I failed a number of times. And I think more importantly, things that made me to fail was my application was too generic. I didn't pinpoint my reasons for applying to graduate school. I was more like, I like AI, I want to do AI, but no particular reason, nothing was driving my application. So I rushed the application, which like I utterly failed. And that kind, I think my first rejection letter was University of Alberta because of their reinforcement learning faculty was really good. And it was the school I wanted the most. And it was the one I got my first rejection, which like was paining. Then again, it hinged on late applications. Most of my applications were late. I finished school. I didn't start early. I waited till I finished school, which was not really a bad thing or a good thing. It depends on maybe your plans. If you want to transition immediately after school to graduate studies, if you want to do your NYSC, all fine. Anyhow, you kind of make your plans, but the earlier you start, because like University of Alberta, if you are doing a 4-year course, you can apply from your 3rd year of studies, a year before you graduate, and you get admission, and the following year you are joining them. So try the process as much as possible, finish your application, and give yourself time to look at the application over again. So you get to see some mistakes you've done, and you can ask someone you trust to kind of review your documents and just make sure you are on the right path. So that's the proper application review. Then for me, I depended too much on my grades. I think that's the point you talked about. Even though my grades were a bit good, so but I depended too much. I felt like with the grades I could get into school, but what you realize, there are other people from other top schools that have like really good grades, that if you compare on that scale, so you won't really, if you're only going with grades, then it might be like a bad thing to, not that not having a good grade is a bad thing, but you should also look at a broader, like your application material. It's like quite broad. Your grades will encompass one. The activities you've done in school will encompass another section of your application material. And the reference letter too, as we spoke about, it's also very important. Then finally, you need to stand out. So standing out is one, with your academics, having a very good grade. So as I think Mr. Bello asks, so what happens when you really don't have good grades? If you are still in school and you still have 1 or 2 semesters to go, please try as much as possible to do extremely well, because your final grades, not your CGPA matters, but the final grade at the end of maybe, let's say, your last 2 semesters, at least it should show you, it should show them that progress, like this person didn't do well in the first few semesters, but look at what he's doing now in the final semester. So you see there's like this kind of trend in your results. So in the final semester, you did really well. Let's see, inshallah, you get 5.0, 5.0. So, this guy is doing really well. So imagine if he comes for his master's. So maybe you can. So one way you can put it, it's maybe in your application. If you can tell them the reason why you didn't do well. You can tell them perhaps not to badmouth the Nigerian system of education. You can tell them you really don't understand things in the crowded environment, or you were occupied with other particular, maybe you are working part-time also. So there are a number of ways you can put it. But if you are still in your undergraduate also, to try to do well in your final semesters, even though you've not done well before. Another important thing is to show like you've worked or you had some experience in that field. So let's say your grades are not good, or even though your grades are good, it's very critical to build some like portfolios, as Doctor has talked about. Show them like, look, even though my academics are not good, I have worked with this, I know this in and out. So my academics alone should not justify you not giving me the admission or the scholarship. So it's one way to look at it. This can also be included in your reference letter. So if your reference letter will be written by a lecturer that knows you, that knows your academics is not really that super good, it's like average or even less than average, it's fine. So you can tell them like, look, his academics is not really good, but look, he has done this and this. With his influence, he has been able to department to this competition or to that, or has done this and that, and maybe has bring some collaborations to a department, which is a very big plus. Then finally, volunteering. So in this scholarship, I think what they kind of look out is maybe they're offering you the money and they might not be expecting something back, but they kind of want you to do something with the knowledge you gain, the experience you've acquired, and perhaps in the future. So one way for them to gauge you as a person, it's not really like a kind of a golden rule. It's like if you have volunteered one way or the other, perhaps you've taught people maybe Python, you've like engaged in people, you have maybe introduced, let's see, how will I put it? It's just volunteering, you've done things for the service of good of people. So believe me, it will serve a good thing. So volunteering doesn't really need to be massive. So you can tutor people in class. So I feel like it's for these scholarships in the end, maybe if you are on the same scale with another, it's more of like a competition itself for the scholarship application. If you're on the same scale on your academics and your work experience and the work and the projects you've built, then maybe another thing they will look at is like volunteering. If I sponsor this guy, he has a better opportunity of impacting more people in the future. So they will definitely go for that guy. Even though your academics might not be that good, you know that, hey, look at this guy, he's really doing this well. He's kind of supporting the education of underrepresented people in this region. He's doing X, Y, Z. So it will like push things massively. Then I think more importantly, we've stated this always, like connect with people. So as Dr. Tu has said, you never know who will help you one way or the other. Because I think for me, I connected with someone because I was working on people per hour, just doing 1 or 2 freelancing jobs, not really consistent with it. And the person I connected to was, I think he was doing his PhD or postdoc in the university, and we were kind of collaborating 1 or 2 things. Then at the end of the day, he was one of the people that were reviewing my graduate school applications. So to show you how maybe from work we became very close, and he wants to help me out because perhaps maybe we've done 1 or 2 works with him. So connect with people, and a lot of people will kind of help you out. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to tell them like how I connect with Mustapha. So yeah, so I just saw like a GitHub repository. I saw a one push or pull request, something like that. And I just saw like Mustapha Abdullah. I said, this name our name. And so I just follow the GitHub repository and saw the name. I say Mustapha from Zaria. I see the website. I follow his I say, this one our own. Why can't we bring him and to Ariwa data? I say, I just took his email, shoot an email to him. I say, hey, Mustapha, look at what we are doing. Come and join us. Your student, your colleagues, your mates need your help in one way. And Mustapha, I say, he's happy he can join us. I say, okay, the first thing you can do is just to give a talk to our student, how you are experiencing. So you see how we connect with Mustapha. So I don't know Mustapha before. I just sent him an email, just like 2 weeks before. And this is how, one thing can transfer collaboration or something like that. So connect with people is powerful. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's an honor, really. So I think one final key step, and which everyone will agree with, you should always pray, because prayers are very important and very crucial, because things might not really likely go your way. But at least with prayers, you will be kind of rest assured and your mind will be at peace. So like you do a lot of application. I told you how I got my first rejection, and I thought even though my grades were good and a lot, but it was kind of discouraging with you have a very good result, but things are not working your way. But when things start to come your way, I remember one of the first admissions that I got was Brown University, but unfortunately it didn't come with funding. Then later on, more opportunities came. Then one funny, not really funny, a kind of not really a dilemma too. I got admission to King Fahd University. I have done my visa application. I have done my everything I prepared. I just had 1 week to travel to King Fahd. I booked a flight. The next following week, I was traveling to King Fahd University, Saudi Arabia. Then this email came in from Queen Mary University. So I saw the email. I was rushing to go somewhere. Then I saw the email. When I saw it, I read the header. It was related to DeepMind scholarship, but I was kind of discouraged to look at it because in my mind, I was thinking it's rejection. So when I opened it, I saw congratulations, you've been awarded a scholarship, and it's DeepMind scholarship. So I was super excited. So it's to show you things can happen at the very last minute. So just be prayerful and just be prayerful. So anything can happen, inshallah. So Doctor,
okay. That's all.
Okay. No, I saw a hand. So okay. So I think I will kind of leave you with this final quote, opportunities when seeds multiply. So for you to be anything in life, you have to take that one step. If you don't seize the opportunities you have now, particularly with data science, so it won't really, a lot of things can maybe go your way or not, but please, anything you are doing, please kind of focus on it and do well with it. Maximize the opportunities you have now, because in the future, you will kind of look back and you'll be very happy you did what you did. So I think that's all for me. It's really a big pleasure to be with you and to discuss this. If you have any questions, I'll be very much happy to answer them.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mustapha.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time being here and to talk to us about your experience and all that. So Babangida, go on, Babangida, please.
Okay, thank you, Mustapha, for this wonderful piece. And my question goes here for the statement of purpose. Sometimes they ask us to write about 500 words.
Yes.
And sometimes maybe one doesn't have much to write. So how can we overcome that gap?
Okay. Yes, that's a very good question too. So statement of purpose, I think first and most important thing is don't start writing, but don't start writing, will I say, maybe blindly. Have a structure of what you want to write. Maybe the structure can be first you start with your perhaps introduction. Then the second thing is talk about your education, like the courses you took in undergraduate. Maybe it can be 100-level mathematics and how it relates to maybe what you're applying for. Maybe you studied calculus, you were able to do some differential equations, which was and how it was able to, and how it has built upon you. So, you know, for undergraduate studies, you spent like 4 years for undergraduate studies. You can talk about your courses, you can talk about the mini projects maybe you've done in school, because 1 or 2 courses might require you to work on some small projects. Don't really undermine the things that you've done in your undergraduate studies. Then you can also talk about your final year projects. You know, you wrote maybe more than 5,000 words for undergraduate project. You should also talk about that and things you were able to learn. Then one other thing, if you have any work experience that relates to this, one thing maybe might be the data science mentorship program. Tell them about what you were able to learn, the skills you were able to build. It doesn't need to be technical. It can also be, how will I say, it can also be maybe professional, where you're able to do time management and a lot of things related to that. So you shouldn't really care if it's not really up to, that's the limit. So you can go lower than that. So most importantly, conciseness is key, but be able to state your reasons very clearly and in a well-articulated manner. Then one thing that will help, you are planning towards, let's say, February. Let's say you can work on a project that you find interesting before then, perhaps use a month to work on a project and add it as that. So always start now. The earlier you start, the better for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, also as Mustapha said, the earlier you start, the better. So as I remember, one of my forefathers says, you know, writings, you know, or the idea don't comes fully well formed at the beginning. So for writing, this is very critical concept that it got better as you iterate. So for example, if you want to submit in 1 month, just write some draft, keep iterating it, improving it, giving other people to improve it, so it get better and better and better the more you revise it. So it's not like one-off process like writing. Okay, I want to submit something today, you just write and submit. It doesn't work like that. So you need to iterate in terms of writing. Yep.
Yeah. I think okay. Mahmoud, I think Mahmoud raised up his hand.
Assalamu alaikum. Good day, sir.
Good day.
So we're really grateful for having had these golden words from you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
My question is, I'm a penultimate year student. Is there any scholarship I can apply? I can start applying now before I graduate.
Okay. I'm not, I think from my experience, I'm not really sure for penultimate year. I think there are maybe 2 things from my own view you can do. Maybe try as much as possible to maximize the opportunity with Ariwa Data Science and build projects. So I know it can be very demanding, maybe working with school and maybe doing other data science. And it's really worth the sacrifice, because it will really help you one way or the other. Because just for me, like one of the things or projects I've done in my undergraduate, the academics is good, but learn to branch out. Then so people that I saw accept penultimate year is among, I think, Canada. So they stated like University of Alberta, particularly as an undergraduate, you can apply like a year before you graduate. So Shimaden, you can look into that, and other schools. So So it depends. If you are kind of looking towards scholarships, let's say scholarships to Carson, there are like kind of two facets to this. Either you apply to the school directly or you apply to the scholarships. So I think for you, it's maybe applying to the school will count more directly and maybe aim to get funding from the school itself. So that's more maybe you looking towards US schools. So that's maybe what I can see for now. So I think you have a lot of time, sincerely, since you know about these opportunities now. You can build a really very big profile before then, so that inshallah towards maybe the time you have completed your studies, you are like your profile is really good and you'll be looking at very top schools, inshallah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for attending, and thank you very much, Mustapha, for sharing a very valuable experience and transferable skills, which is really important. Thank you, our fellows, for joining us. You can see Mustapha gave us a very good talk. So try as much as possible to see that you maximize this opportunity, build projects, make connections, and inshallah, one day to become history, you also become a mentor and come here and tell the story in the next cohort, inshallah.
Thank you so much. So bye-bye.
Okay, so thank you all for joining, and we see you next session. Bye.